Alright ladies, my promise to you today is I'm going to teach you how to attract authentic love with a man without wasting your time or dealing with mixed signals. Now there's no fancy editing or lighting on this video. I'm going to give you pure raw knowledge so you walk away feeling like this is one of the best presentations that you've seen on the internet on this topic. Now who is this for? Okay, this is for you if you're ready to date again but you're unsure where to start. If dating feels exhausting or too time consuming, if you keep attracting emotionally unavailable men, and if you believe that all men eventually lose interest. Now, like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change. But nothing is going to change if you're multitasking right now, okay? So drop whatever it is that you're doing, put your full attention, otherwise you're going to absorb 10% of this information, and again, nothing is going to change. Now, to begin the presentation, I want you to answer this for me honestly, okay? If you had the freedom to choose, what would you honestly prefer? Being happily single or sharing love in a healthy relationship? Now, if you're happily single, there's no shaming on that, okay? But what I want you to think is, are you able to attract this one? I want you to create abundance in your life, to have the options. And then, if you're in a healthy relationship with a man and you decide to be single, then that's up to you. Now, the framework that I'm going to teach you is based on the 3 principles that I teach my clients, and these are believe, become, and attract. This is going to help you to attract a loyal man. You're going to stop wasting time on the wrong guys, and you're going to get the right man to emotionally invest in you. Now, the most important thing that you can do today, after you finish watching this, go to the pin link below, okay? Click on it and you can see some of the stories from these women. Because no matter what I tell you, it's not the same listening to a coach than when you see the stories of these women telling you exactly what they did so you can apply it in your own love life. And obviously, I also learned some of these principles from my own relationship, and I'm going to be pulling some examples from that as well. Okay, so to begin, the first thing that I want you to think is, why is it that sometimes 2 women, equally beautiful, equally kind and smart, but one attracts love and commitment and the other one attracts confusion and disappointment? I mean, why does this happen? All right, because these women seem very similar on the surface, so there's something underneath it that is working for this one and not for this one, and that is becoming a high vibrational woman. Because for anything to exist physically, it must exist vibrationally. Now, this is not going to be some woo-woo talk or some manifestation talk, okay? This is going to be grounded information based on your beliefs, your habits, and your values. And the combination of these 3 is what really creates the vibration that you show up with in your relationships and in your dating life. All right, so pay attention because I'm going to break these down for you, okay? So the first thing is beliefs, and that is what you accept as true. And the second is your values, which means what you see as important in your life. And the last one is your habits, and those are the repeated actions that you take every single day. Now, pay attention because this is going to be your beliefs, your values, and your habits, okay? So the first one is, I believe love will find me if it's meant to be, because I value letting things happen naturally. So I'm going to stay home every day and wait for the perfect man to knock on my door. Look at how these beliefs and values and habits are going to keep you in isolation, not being able to attract him in, or if you do attract him, you're going to, lose the connection because you think that he needs to love you unconditionally. Because like I always tell you, romantic relationships are an exchange of value. So if you're not providing the right value, people are going to look for it somewhere else. Now let's put all of this together, right? Remember, believe, become, and attract. So if you have the wrong beliefs, you will become the type of woman who attracts the wrong men. Now I'm going to break down one by one so you can see more examples how this plays out in your life. Okay, so the first one is going to be your beliefs, right? Because whatever you have in here is going to be reflected out there. So these are some of the limiting beliefs that I find the most in women, like dating apps don't work. A man should love me no matter what. Men only care about sex. Men don't want commitment anymore. If I show interest, he's going to lose attraction. And Ismael is a man, so I shouldn't trust him. Again, if you think that there's only 5 men out there who want commitment, how can you attract something that you believe does not exist? Think about that. So when you go out there watching content, listening to podcasts, okay, pay attention that you're not falling for the tactics, because too many women are taught surface level tricks, but they never teach you how to shift how you think, how you choose, and how you value yourself. Now I'm going to show you another basic example from a conversation that I had with a coaching client, and Katie gave me permission because she wanted, a lot of you to learn from this. So she told me dating in my city sucks, okay? So I asked her, How many single men around your age live in your city? She said, no idea. So I did, I went on ChatGPT, I looked up her city and I said, okay, there's like 7,000 men in your city, your age range. So how many of them have you actually met? And then she responded, a few. Okay, Ismael, I get your point. And I said, let's work on your dating strategy. All of these are limiting beliefs and they happen when you have a scarcity mindset. If you don't know how to create abundance in your life, okay, with all the tools and all the technology that we have nowadays, if you don't know how to do it, then that's on you, okay? It is a lack of skills, not a lack of abundance. Okay, Ismael, I believe you. I'm going to change my beliefs. Now what? Well, now let's take a look at your values and habits, okay? Words versus actions. So look at these and answer these honestly, okay? What do you value more? Spending $100 on beauty products or $100 on healthy food? What do you value more? Binge watching a 3-hour Netflix drama or reading for 3 hours? And finally, blaming men in modern dating or examining your own patterns. Again, be honest with yourself. See how sometimes you might be investing in the wrong things and then you expect to create the right abundance in your life. And for those of you who keep being disappointed, that you're still frustrated with men and you keep saying that you want men to change, but you keep enabling their behavior. Look at this text conversation, okay? And this came from a client who was dealing with a situationship with this guy, and she had texted him on November 11th. Nice, I'm into staying active too. What are you up to tonight? And then he responded on November 30th, 19 days later. Hey stranger, sorry I disappeared. Life got hectic. And what she did next is exactly my point. She replied 4 minutes later, okay? He texted at 12:41. She replied at 12:45. Hey, nice to hear from you, smiley face. What boundaries, what standards are you showing to this man? So everything that you're against, everything that you want men to change, make sure that your behavior is not enabling that. Because when you don't understand male behavior in relationships, everything can look like a mixed signals because clarity comes from within. If you don't understand what's happening, why is he pulling away, if you don't know how to ask the right questions, this is only going to create more confusion. And also, when you don't understand yourself, attraction is going to feel random rather than intentional. If you keep falling for the wrong men, if you keep sabotaging your relationships, you need to understand your own patterns and the way that you're showing up in your love life. Because if there's only one thing that I want you to take away from my coaching today, is this, okay? And that is, you don't attract the love you want, you attract the love that matches your patterns. Everything that you want, your dream relationship, your dream partner, you need to become the woman who attracts it. If your skills, your knowledge, and your patterns are not aligned with what you want, forget about it, okay? Like I said, believe, become, and attract. What do you need to believe in? What kind of beliefs do you need to plant in your mind? Positive beliefs, okay, that it is possible. How do you create abundance? And you align your values and your habits with that. And my final suggestion, like I said at the beginning of this video, besides listening to the whole presentation that I hope it was really helpful and insightful for you, go check the link below and listen to older women, okay? Listen to their stories so you can see what's possible for you. Anyways, thank you for subscribing to my channel. And like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change, okay? Have a beautiful day.